Lesson 65 in the workbook of A Course in Miracles. My only function is the one God gave me. The idea for today reaffirms your commitment to salvation. It also reminds you that you have no function other than that. Both of these thoughts are obviously necessary for a total commitment. Salvation cannot be the only purpose you hold while you still cherish others. The full acceptance of salvation as your only function necessarily entails two phases: the recognition of salvation as your function and the relinquishment of all the other goals that you have invented for yourself. All right, so we've been learning that our function is to be this light of the world and bring forgiveness and peace to ourselves and to others. And it's a forgiveness means that we have a sense of this truer self in what the Course says is our now holy relationships in which we share holy instances. And it's this holy instance in which there's a sense of self that lacks nothing, that is a memory of this perfect self that God created. And it's a self that we're sharing with others now instead of sharing this ego lacking self. So that's what it means by goals that you've invented for yourself. And it's important to remember that the Course doesn't ask us to change the forms of our life. We'll continue to do all the things that we're doing. It's just that we've changed the purpose to remembering who we are through being this light of the world and bringing forgiveness and therefore peace to ourselves and everyone. Okay, so this is the only, let's move up here. This is the only way in which you can take your rightful place among the saviors of the world. This is the only way in which you can say and mean, my only function is the one God gave me. This is the only way in which you can find peace of mind. So these ego goals and the goals that the Holy Spirit have for us are fundamentally irreconcilable. So we have to let go of one and accept the other. So today, for a number of days to follow, set aside 10 to 15 minutes for a more sustained practice period in which you try to understand and accept what the idea for the day really means. So we're setting out a precedent now for this lesson and the ones that are going to follow for a number of days about what our practice will be. So it's finding a time that's 10 to 15 minutes where we have a sustained practice in trying to understand and accept the idea for the day, which means the lesson for today. So today's idea offers you escape from all your perceived difficulties. It places the key to the door of peace, which you have closed upon yourself in your own hands. It gives you the answer to all the searching you have done since time began. So all perceived difficulties means the goals that we've invented for ourselves means that we lack. If we're an ego, we lack, and so the ego writes scripts for everyone and everything. And if those scripts are fulfilled, if people do what we think that they should do, if they are the way that we think they should be, or situations, then we're going to be happy. But inherent in that premise is that we are lacking and that we are that ego, and it's just trying to prove to itself it is an ego. So, but by accepting salvation, accepting that we're the light of the world, and forgiveness, which is some memory of our truer self, then that solves all these other problems. It gives you the answer to all the searching you've done since time began. So try, if possible, to undertake the daily extended practice periods at approximately the same time each day. Try also to determine this time in advance and then adhere to it as closely as possible. All right, so this is just basic goal setting, is that we have to, first of all, formulate the goal, set it up, and then make a commitment to it. And in that way, by doing that beforehand, then we have a criteria by which to know what to do, a criteria by which to evaluate, and we're more likely to succeed in achieving that goal if we set it up in advance. All right, the purpose of this is to arrange your day so that you've set apart the time for God as well for all the trivial purposes and goals you would pursue. This is part of the long-range disciplinarian training your mind needs, so the Holy Spirit can use it consistently for the purpose He shares with you. And again, that purpose is to turn all of our relationships into holy relationships in which we share holy instances of forgiveness and peace, some memory of that truer self that doesn't lack. So here's the practice. For the longer practice period, begin by reviewing the idea for the day and then close your eyes and repeat the idea to yourself once again and watch your mind carefully to catch whatever thoughts cross it. At first, make no attempt to concentrate only on the thoughts related to the idea for the day. Rather, try to uncover each thought that arises to interfere with it. Note each one as it comes to you and with as little involvement or concern as possible, dismissing each one by telling yourself, this thought reflects a goal that is preventing me from accepting my only function. So all of these things that all these actions of our everyday, the goals of working, of making money, of fulfilling responsibilities and jobs, doing this or that, all of these things, when they're held as a purpose in and of itself to fulfill this lacking self, that's preventing us from seeing our true function in there. So we're to look at all of those and note them in the mind, and then to each one say, this thought reflects a goal that is preventing me from accepting my only function. So after a while, interfering thoughts will become harder to find. Try, however, to continue a minute or so longer, attempting to catch a few of the idle thoughts that escaped your attention before, but do not strain or make undue effort in doing this. Then tell yourself, on this clean slate, let my true function be written for me. All right, so this is a really essential practice of being able to still the mind, to really make the mind quiet. And the way that we're doing that is just for that moment letting go of the goals that we have. Like for me today is, I got to get this job done, I've got to make this money today, I got to pick up my prescription, I've got to meet this person and this all these things. If I can just still those goals for a minute, let go of those for a minute, let my mind be quiet, and then we can say, on this clean slate, let my true function be written for me. And so this true function is the light of the world, it's forgiveness, it's that peace. So you need not use these exact words, but try to get the sense of being willing to have your illusions of purpose be replaced by truth. And then finally, repeat the idea for today once more. Once we've cleared our minds of all of these pseudo goals, and devote the rest of the practice period to try to focus on its importance to you, the importance of this idea that my only function of being the light of the world, of practicing forgiveness, of bringing this peace, how important that is to us, and the relief its acceptance will bring you by resolving all your conflicts once and for all, and the extent to which you really want salvation in spite of your own foolish ideas to the contrary. So we're releasing our attention on this so-called normal set of ideas about what we should be doing, what our goals are, what should be happening, all the scripts that the ego has written to decide what should change other than our minds for us to be happy. We're letting go of that and saying, my only function is the one God gave me. My only function is to be that light that shines away the ego for myself and others, accepting forgiveness, accepting the holy instant, making our relationships holy. That's how all our conflicts will be reduced. And this is what we really want, in spite of our foolish ideas to the contrary. So this is a really valuable practice in clearing away conflicts and clearing away what prevents us from accepting our only function. And so as we look ahead each day, now for the next few days, or for a few days, it says that we're going to have this one longer practice period with sustained concentration where we're training our minds and opening it up to the Holy Spirit by letting go of all of these ego thoughts that are there. All right, so that's the longer practice period. So in the shorter practice periods, which should be undertaken at least once an hour, so we want to set that aside that at least once an hour we'll give some time to this practice. Can be more if we want. And we repeat the idea today: my only function is the one God gave me. I want no other, and I have no other. So we need to practice throughout the day to clear our minds, to make it open to the Holy Spirit, so we can accept these holy instances, so our relationships are holy. And we're working towards helping us remember and everyone else our true self. Okay, so in this practice, sometimes close your eyes as you practice this, and sometimes keep them open and look about you. It is what you see now that will be totally changed when you accept today's idea completely. All right, so this is how we all at once we solve all of our problems, because all at once we've changed the idea about who we are. We've changed our idea back to I am as God created me. I am the light of the world. I have this forgiveness function, and it's a function that brings peace to myself and everyone. So by changing our inner self, our inner mind, our inner concepts, then everything around us and everyone around will change for us in our perception. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.